So good morning everybody, myself Acharya Vishvendra. I was just discussing about the process of ideal studies, in which I said that the purpose of studying is to transfer the neural patterns from the source of study to your mind-brain system. But another important process is the retrieval process. So if you analyze that, there are three levels of minds: the conscious, the subconscious and the unconscious. And the information that you learn through the source has to get transferred from the conscious mind to the unconscious mind, and you need to check its retention. The above arrow shows that you are retrieving information from the unconscious to the subconscious and subconscious to the conscious, and finally using it to do certain calculation and to get certain output. So when a student is studying, so there is something involved with the brain and mind of the student as given over here. So the unsuccessful students are not able to retrieve information. So that is simply explained by the face expression of the student over here, because she is not able to retain the pattern that she learned from the unconscious mind to the brain. Whereas a successful student is successfully able to retain that information, so that's why she is able to get good results. So here the turning point is the retention of information or the retention of patterns from the unconscious mind to the conscious mind or to the brain. So as explained here, the entire turning point is basically the interaction between the three types of memories: the sensory memory, the short-term memory and the long-term memory. So their interrelation, the retention of information between these memory sources are the basic testing mechanism because of which students perform different results, why students are successful and unsuccessful. Now there is information processing model in the mind-brain system. It was done by Atkinson and Schifrin, which shows that from external environment there is certain input which goes to the sensory input, which goes to the sensory memory, which is often forgotten. Then it goes to short-term memory, then it goes to long-term memory, and there is a continuous retrieval of information from these memories which are of use in life. So life, if you observe, is essentially a process of information transfer between the memories. So we receive information from the surrounding, and because of those information we feel in a certain way, and that forms a pattern, and that pattern gets stored in the mind or in the memories, and that memories we need to recall that for dealing with situations of life. So that is a simple mechanism going behind all of us. For this, just do a thought experiment. Just think what you were doing 1 year before or 6 months before. So certainly you must have an idea that what is happening, what you did. You must be able to recall what you were doing during this time. So just ask yourself from where you are fetching this information, that what you did during this time last year. So you must be able to retrieve that. There is somewhere inside you the pattern is stored, and you are using that pattern to come to the conclusion. Now there is information processing between brain and the mind, and there is a mapping between the sensory memory maps with the conscious mind, temporary memory conscious mapped with the subconscious mind, and permanent or long memory maps with the unconscious mind. So another thing is recursive testing, analysis and updation. So once you are able to store the neural pattern, another thing is recursive testing, updation, and its use as and when needed. So this is depicted over here as the recursive testing, analysis and updation, as you can see over here. So here is the thing that choose a small set of information. It is the ideal process of how to check that whether your study pattern is effective or not. So for that, choose a small set of information. Let's say choose a particular paragraph of a particular subject. Then first thing is choose a small set of information. Then second step is process it systematically. Then retrieve it effectively. Then retrieve it. If you are unable to retrieve, try to repeat it. Test yourself. and keep on repeating the process until you are able to retrieve what you learned. So here is the turning point, that it is the retrieval process which is central to good performance in exams. So focus on the retrieval. You studied one page or one book or 1,000 books, doesn't matter. If you are unable to recall those pages or those set of information, it's of no use. So the central concept here is of retrieval effect. So the retrieval effect is the very basis that differentiates between a successful and unsuccessful student. So those students who are successful, it is because of the complex mind-brain algorithms that you use, the better coordination of their three minds and the brain, and their retention of information which they learned in the past. So retaining information from the past is the crucial factor which differentiates between a successful and unsuccessful student. So if you want to optimize your result, if you want to perform better in life, if you want to improve your results, then apart from neural pattern working, apart from the subject patterns, information patterns, just develop your own mind-brain system patterns, and which is possible through the algorithm which I have codenamed as AVA. So this is how things are done.